Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back to David S. Palmer Arena. Saturday night hockey between the Prowlers and the Dashers. Port Huron looking for the series sweep. Will Wiggleman here with you. Thanks so much for tuning in this evening. Should be a great matchup for you tonight as the Prowlers will celebrate Brian Parsons' 200th game with the club and get the return of Joel Frazee. And as I mentioned in the open, Frazee will not be wearing his usual number 23 tonight. He will actually be wearing Kenny Stiles' number 14 tonight, as you wouldn't have expected on Thursday night when Frazee was still inactive and had gone inactive earlier this week. There was no expectation that he would be in Danville at any point this weekend. However, he was activated earlier today, and then Stiles put on IR. So Stiles' jersey is here. Frazee's is not, so Joel Frazee will be wearing number 14 in white tonight. So just a quick programming note for you, anybody keeping track at home. But first, let's take a look back at last night's game. A resounding win for the Port Huron Prowlers, 9-1 the final. And that is the largest margin of victory for the Prowlers in a game since 2018. And for the third time in 4 games, the Prowlers have reset their season high for goals in a game, as Alex Johnson became the first Prowler with a 5-point night this season in his first game as a forward this year, playing in Frazee's center spot, although Frazee will take back that spot with Stepan Deci and Reggie Millette. We'll show you where Johnson's playing in just a little while. And meanwhile, Tucker Scantlebury, 3-point night. 5 other Prowlers with multi-point games. 14 of the 15 Prowlers who were in the lineup last night recorded a point. But the big story, the thing everybody was most excited about inside that Prowlers locker room, Yoshihiro Kuriowa picked up his first win in the FPHL, a guy who had only come in once in relief. At any point this season, he had made 8 saves in a relief appearance against the Venom earlier this year, but that was his only game action in the FPHL. He'd been with the Prowlers since the start of training camp. He got his first start in the league, which marks another league off the list and another country in Yoshi's long professional career. And he was fantastic last night, 25 saves on 26 shots. And he got the victory, and lots of congratulations from his teammates and, of course, the fans around the Prowlers fan base. Well, Port Huron with the win last night also moves into 3rd place in the Empire Division, jumping over the Hat Tricks, who lost to the Blue Ridge Bobcats last night. So Port Huron back in 3rd place, and will try to hope for another Bobcats win and try and get themselves a little bit of breathing room from the Hat Tricks. Of course, Danbury still with 3 games in hand on Port Huron as far as games remaining. But the Prowlers in 3rd place, also looking up towards the Watertown Wolves, who they are just 8 points behind right now. Well, they won't play the Wolves too many times this season, just 1 2-game set in March. So Prowlers won't be able to do much about the Wolves' point total, but we'll see if they can get a little bit closer to that 2nd seed, as the Wolves have been in a little bit of turmoil over these past few weeks. Well, familiar name for longtime Dasher fans, Brad Denny will be in the lineup tonight. This will be just his 4th game of the season with this iteration of the Dashers, but 177 of his 193 games in his FPHL career have come with a team named the Dashers, most of them with the original Dashers, of course, but he did play 9 games for the Port Huron Prowlers back in 2021-22. But again, mostly a Dasher throughout his long career. The 35-year-old drawing into the lineup tonight on defense. We already talked about Brian Parsons celebrating his 200th game in the FPHL, as a Port Huron Prowler tonight, pardon me. He's up to 232 in the FPHL. And you see the numbers there, 6th most in Prowlers history, 3rd most among defensemen behind just Joe Pace and Alex Johnson. And I got to catch up with Brian Parsons before his game tonight. And that is Brian Parsons playing in his 200th game as a Port Huron Prowler tonight. And once again, number 232 in the FPHL overall after he started his career with the Watertown Wolves. And you see him slotting in alongside usual forward Tristan Sim. So even though Joel Frazee is back, Sim's still on defense. Alex Johnson still up front. Frazee takes back his center spot with Stepan Deci and Reggie Millette, while Alex Johnson will play wing alongside Matt Graham and Luke James / Isaiah Paris. Paris will actually be in the starting lineup tonight with Graham and Johnson. We'll give you the full starters in just a few moments. But Johnson staying up front for the whole weekend, and the Prowlers coaches will be combining on that third line, and we'll see if they can bring some chemistry and help out on the offense. Although Johnson did plenty of helping on the offense last night. 5 points for him. Graham picked up an assist, and Luke James, who you see on there as well, 2 helpers in last night's game. And Valtteri Nusiainen will be back between the pipes tonight. Reed Cooper, the backup, as he ends up getting the weekend off after he became activated, much like Joel Frazee earlier this week. He ended up joining the Prowlers in the middle of Friday, or before Friday's game, but he did not dress. As we take you down to ice level, Dashers announcing their starters tonight. We'll give you the starting lineup for the Port Huron Prowlers. And as I mentioned earlier, it will be that forward line of Alex Johnson, Matt Graham, and Isaiah Paris up front. On defense, Tristan Sim and Brian Parsons, and Valtteri Nusiainen between the pipes tonight for the Prowlers, as he tries to pick up victory number 10 on the season. As the Dashers are hitting the ice now, We'll give you the starting goaltending matchup. Their Dasher stars tonight will be, we'll give them to you actually in just a few moments as it's time for tonight's national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That is tonight's national anthem from Danville, Illinois. Certainly more fans here tonight than last night. Should be a decent crowd to cheer on the Dashers, who are hoping to snap a 21-game losing skid. Let's give you tonight's starting goaltending matchup. It'll be Valtteri Nusiainen, as we mentioned, against Eli Bowers. As Bowers will be making his first start as a Dasher, although he did come into the game last night, played more than half of it. 30 minutes and 28 seconds of relief for him. 18 saves on 21 shots for Bowers in that game. And he will get the start here tonight. As you see the numbers for him, that 1-3 record coming over from his time with the Venom, while Nusiainen tries to pick up win number 10 on the season. We're just about set for puck drop here at David S. Palmer Arena. Thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday night, staying up just a little bit later out there in the Eastern time zone. We'll see if the Prowlers can repeat a great performance last night and pick up another victory as we are underway, and it's Brad Denny tossing it ahead to Trey Fisher. Fisher tried to go back to Zinchenko. Here's Jonathan Wick. Tried to go to the net, hit his own man Zinchenko. And it comes back to Denny at the Dashers blue line. Fisher took a hit from Isaiah Paris, grabs into the offensive zone, spinning away from Zinchenko. Johnson loads and fires, and he couldn't find the target. Alex Johnson scored the first goal of last night's game, shorthanded, just 3:15 in. Wick, the Norwegian, goes up the wall to Zinchenko. Slid it right out of the zone, and Brian Parsons retreats to his own end. Sim bounces off the boards, finds Federley fresh off the bench. He'll move up with the rest of his forward line. Scantleberry looking in front, spinning away as he works on Salov. Now Brockway at the point. Scored his first pro goal last night, a nice little wraparound. Bussell right down Main Street, and the save made by Bowers. Well, Jamie Bussell got a good look from the tops of the circles, right in the middle of the ice. And now you see Joel Frazee stepping out there wearing Kenny Stiles' number 14 jersey tonight, in case you missed the pregame show. Frazee activated today. Prowlers were not aware that Frazee was going to be available for this game, so they did not pack his jersey. But with Kenny Stiles going on the IR, his jersey was here. So that's what Frazee gets to wear. He'll be number 14 in white, at least for tonight. Back with his line mates from last Saturday, Reggie Millette and Stefan Deasy. And those three had some great success offensively in that game. Both Frazee and Deasy had 3-point nights. And all three of them hooked up on that game-winning goal. It was Deasy from Frazee and Millette. Both teams making changes as Nikita Petroditsin steps out from behind his own cage. He picked up his first pro assist in last night's game. It wasn't the most direct assist you'll see in the world, but it was on Tucker Scantleberry's goal. Where Petroritsin just wrapped it around the wall, took a funny hop off the Zamboni door, or whatever door that is over there, and popped out to Scantlebury, who put it into a wide open net with Bowers looking the other way. They all count the same. As James fires it out to Alex Johnson, working on Denny. His shot eaten up by Denny's stick, and out of play goes the puck. The face-off deep in Dasher's territory. Prowlers were the only shot on goal so far in this game. And they have the man who took that shot, Jamie Bussell, taking this face-off against Thomas Murphy, who scored the only Dasher's goal last night. Austin Federley collects the missed pass in the corner, cycles it back deep. Scantlebury gets there ahead of Fisher. Goes off the wall to Sim. Federley drop back for Sim. Wrister deflected off a Dasher stick and over top of the cage. Fisher up the boards, right into Federley. Looks to the net, and he rose it too tall as he was trying to go top shelf. Sim with a great play to keep that puck in the zone, and then Bussell does the same. Backhands it on net, and Kim Mittinen will try and find an outlet pass. Port Huron making changes as Henning sends it up to Fisher at the Prowlers' blue line. He lost an edge, may have tripped over the blue line there as Parsons tried to throw the body into him. Murphy and Millette tied up in the corner. Parsons flies in to slide it around to Sim. Scantlebury, rink wide feed, finds Millette. Drop for Bussell, the one-timer just whistled wide. And Fisher picks it up on the other side to start a rush. Working on Brockway, Fisher had it knocked off his stick. Zinchenko pokes it up towards the point. Denny gets there ahead of Scantlebury. And now Scantlebury gets it out of the zone. Loose puck scooped up by Wick. Dashers reset. Both teams getting more fresh bodies on the ice. Denny gets the red line, dumps it in. Lockhart first on in the near side corner. Bounces it around towards Brockway. Up the wall, Millette sends DC in. DC gets to the forehand. His shot stopped by Bowers. Millette on the follow-up. Sent it back towards DC on the near wall. Now Millette spinning away from Mullins. Denny working on Reggie Millette now. Millette able to get to the point to Lockhart. D-to-D pass. Brockway to the net. That one off a stick. Millette collects behind the cage. Millette right at the top. Head up. Floats it to Lockhart. Works in, but Solov took it right off his stick. Frazee able to take the puck back for Port Huron. Bounced it to DC, who's dealing with a couple of Dashers. Denny pulls it out of the scrum. Then DC puts Denny into the wall and takes the puck back. DC around the cage, out high to Petroritsin. Lockhart straight on. His shot steered to the corner by Bowers. And a good shift there for the Prowlers, pinning the Dashers deep in their own end. Still no score though as we approach 5 minutes gone in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Lockhart with a rink-wide feed, finds Johnson, on for Luke James to the offensive zone. Had it taken off his stick by the back-checking Jawan Davis, but Graham with a steal. All the way around the net, tried to slip it out in front. That was blocked away, and up comes Bowie Slarks. Sent the backhander to the middle of the ice, didn't get all the way to Nusiainen. Filstrom's pass, disrupted by Mittinen. Henning and Johnson come together in the corner. Henning upended. Federley down low, looking towards Johnson, and Henning back on his skates, able to cut off that pass. Slarks into the offensive zone. Gave it to Parsons. Harassed by Fisher, Parsons wraps it all the way around. Sim on for Alex Johnson, has some skating room and some help coming off the bench. But Bussell just a little too eager on the near side to enter the offensive zone. Offside are the Prowlers. We're still searching for our first goal here in Danville. Just under 6 minutes gone in this one.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network, providing resources and funding to help start or grow your business. Small business support in participating Region 6 counties. Take advantage of the network's free training and events for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network aims to boost your chances of success. Learn more about the network's Small Business Cohort Program. With rentable workspaces, business coaching, training, and funding opportunities, it's time to become a client of the Eastern Michigan Small Business Network.
Valtteri Nusiainen back between the pipes for the Prowlers here in Danville. Hasn't seen a shot come his way yet, but he is starting his 4th game in the last 5 for the Prowlers. Started last Tuesday, which was New Year's Eve against the Motor City Rockers. Reed Cooper backed up, and then Cooper went inactive, and with Yoshi on IR all weekend, Nusiainen had to play both against the Binghamton Black Bears. That was a tough weekend, certainly for him, against the top team in the league. Did get the win, though, on Saturday. Got a night off last night backing up. Now he's right back at it. Here's Zinchenko with a shot. Knocked down by Nusiainen, and I think he got the rebound as well, as Murphy was right there fishing for it. And there's your first save of the night for Valtteri Nusiainen. Fisher tried to rip one towards the middle. That kicked off a skate and out of the zone. Zinchenko was stood up at the line. Bussell took the puck. Slips it to Federley. Over towards Sim. Ended up going behind him. Tristan Sim now turns up ice. Makes a couple of moves and gives it to Federley. As Bussell going to the net. Floats it there. Kick saved by Bowers. Scantlebury couldn't get a good shot away on the rebound as Murphy controlled. Federley able to steal away the outlet feed from Zinchenko. Brockway resetting. Indirect feed finds Scantlebury with Mullins coming off the bench to defend. Back pass towards the middle, knocked away by Brazen. Mettinen towards Murphy. Lockhart takes control, goes across to Brockway, came off his stick, and Justin Brazen has it. His shot towards the net steered to the corner by Nusiainen. All the way around the cage. Sent out in front by Mettinen, that didn't work. Comes all the way down towards Bowers, icing waved off. Steal by Frazee, center, DC couldn't get a shot away as Brazen came in to defend. Salah working up the left wing. Closed off by Lockhart. He took out the linesman as well with that hit. Now Petronitsin. Couldn't slip past Henning with the puck. Rothy. Back pass. Finds Mullins. Up to Slarks. Tips it out of the zone. Ludwig Thelstrom looking to start a counter. Right back up for the Prowlers. Frazee fighting through checks from Davis. Now Frazee enters the offensive zone, and he's hit hard by Davis, who was right on his tail. And as Frazee stopped up, Davis's momentum just took him over top. Here is Davis, spinning away from Luke James. Left it on the half wall for Wick. That one just comes out of the zone. Thelstrom looking to move it right back up for the Prowlers. Jumps in, across to James. Sends the shot on, saved by Bowers. The rebound sits there. It still loosens some skates. Prowlers trying to pull it out, and ends up in the corner. Johnson across to Thelstrom. Looks, gives back to Johnson. Pass was just off his stick. Comes to the line to Sim, works down the wall, makes a move to the middle. He's taken down. Then Wick taken down. Puck still alive. Here's James centering for Graham, but that was bounced back. Parsons sends it down towards Luke James in the corner. Slarks played it off the far wall. Scantlebury the only one there. Outside try, and Bowers got a piece of it as that one flew up top, all the way across the goal line. Now Scantlebury all by himself with his team in the midst of a change. Put it over to the far side. Federley stole it from Henning, and Henning poked it right back off the Prowlers captain's stick. Here's Federley with a rising chance. That one knocked down by Bowers And he hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. All kinds of pressure from Port Huron in the offensive end. Can't get one to go yet. And I think the biggest thing the Prowlers need to worry about is making sure they don't get frustrated with these shots not going. They did get an early goal last night. Still nothing yet here tonight as we approach the midway point of period 1. As Federley right off the draw, couldn't drag it to the net. He was taken in by Mullins. Oh my goodness, that puck is in! And that's a way to get off the schneid if you're Austin Federley. Snaps a 13-game goal drought as he just took it to the net. I lost where the puck was. And everyone did but the referee. It ended up behind Bowers. So Austin Federley picks up his 9th goal of the year, and Port Huron with the 1-0 lead. I'll have to ask Austin Federley if even he knew that puck went to the net. I had no idea that puck entered the net. Anyway, Prowlers up 1-0, and now whistle blows as Zinchenko and Brockway getting into it. They're separated by the linesman. Fisher and Scantleberry come in, and now those two involved. Lockhart and Zinchenko still chatting. Scantleberry riding Fisher into the corner boards with the linesman in between. We'll see who heads over to the penalty boxes. Looks like Scantleberry and Lockhart both heading that direction, along with Zinchenko. So Scantleberry may have picked up the extra penalty here, and the Dashers might be going to the game's first power play. Clock here at David S. Palmer Arena was a little bit slow. It says 10:24. But Port Huron with the 1-0 lead. Now shorthanded for the first time in this game. Dashers power play had just 2 opportunities last night, went 0 for 2. As the True Balance penalty kill will trot out for the first time. By the way, Tucker Scantleberry and Jamie Bussell picked up the assists on the goal by Austin Federley. And Jamie Bussell's kind of quietly had a 5-game point streak coming into tonight, has now upped it to 6. He has 7 points as a Prowler. This is game number 12 for him. And it did take him a little bit to get going offensively, not just with Port Huron, but earlier this season with the Binghamton Black Bears. But now that he's been, again, just a little bit quietly, he has been consistently putting up points for the Prowlers. Of course, working as part of that power play unit with Matt Graham, Alex Johnson, and that crew. So Bussell, again, a great pickup for the Prowlers. Someone that they wanted to make sure would be in black, red, and gold. Dashers to the power play here. They're just about set to go. Murphy and Johnson will take the face-off. The clock's still not starting here at David S. Palmer Arena. Now it has, as it's worked to Denny. Watched by Johnson at the top. Down to Brozin. Fisher, Rothy, and Murphy also on this power play unit. Denny gives over to Rothy. Murphy and Parsons battling in front. Here's Brozin with a shot all the way through. Tried the backdoor feed, not a shot actually, and Trey Fisher couldn't put it on net. Here is Fisher. Backing up, takes a shot through traffic, knocked down in front. Puck is loose and poked to the corner by Parsons. He backhands it up the glass and out of the zone.
Nice job!
Denny spinning away. There's no penalty clock up right now. So I'll give you approximations for how much time is left on the penalties. As Scantleberry picked up the extra 2 for roughing. All 3 guys in the box, Lockhart, Zinchenko, and Scantleberry all got 2 for roughing. As Rothy works to the middle of the ice, makes a move. Rothy couldn't get the shot away as he was surrounded. Sim couldn't poke it past Metnin, as Federley was right there as well. I believe we're past the midway point of this Dashers power play, as Metnin spinning back away from Luke James. And now Metnin works up, as Davis to his right gives it to him. Joanne Davis flies in, outside try, and he caught the glass, and it bounces not past Metnin, but instead right to Bussell on a breakaway, short-handed, and it's gloved down by Bowers. As Jamie Bussell just tried for the quick shot. Clock ticked off a few extra seconds here. Right now it says 8:41 here in the building, and referees are going to go over to see about resetting it, but it almost Karam passed Metnin at the point, and he just did all he could to try and keep it in. And as he did so, the puck skittered to the middle of the ice, and Jamie Bussell was off to the races, but Eli Bowers quick with that glove. As the only shot of this Dashers power play that has been recorded belongs to Jamie Bussell. Prowlers up on shots in this period at 10-2, and they have the only goal of the game. They've reset the clock to 8:46, and now they have a penalty clock up there. 22 seconds left to go on the penalty to Tucker Scantlebury. They still have not put the Prowlers' goal on the scoreboard. They might not have seen the puck go in either. As off this face-off, Henning starts up ice, gives up to Slarks. Tapped for Metnin, trying to dance around Thelstrom. Metnin heads after it. Parsons works it up the wall. Millette turning away from Solov. Pushes it back to this side. Final seconds until Scantlebury steps out of the box, ticked off. Prowlers PK 1-for-1. Graham finds Scantlebury. Sends a headman feed to Millette. One-on-one against Denny. Millette with his back to the cage, looking for a pass to the middle of the ice. That was knocked down by Slarks. Slarks in with Fisher, lost the puck as Parsons back checked on him. Scantlebury gets it to the Dashers' end. His shot rose over top of the cage. Brockway sliding in off the bench, trying to pin it along the wall. Instead it comes out of the zone. Petriditson retreats, and he hands off for Brockway. Puts a shoulder into Murphy as he moved it ahead, but then that puck tossed into the Dashers bench, out of play. And we'll get a whistle and another face-off. And I believe we will take a timeout here. 7:40 to go in period one. Austin Federley has the Prowlers on the board first tonight.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not...
Not a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Back here at David S. Palmer Arena. Hey, they finally put Austin Federley's goal on the scoreboard in here. It's 1-0 Prowlers. Jamie Bussell had the only shot of that Dashers power play, as the Prowlers able to kill off the 2 minutes. Everybody out of the penalty boxes now. Luke James and Trey Fisher get set for this face-off. Fisher able to win it back. Zinchenko tried to slide it over to Murphy. Good poke by Paris to jump into the lane. Bit of a mixed line here for the Prowlers. James, Paris, and Federley. James after it in the corner. Suicide scrum. Paris trying to pull it out. They work it up the boards towards Zinchenko. Back pass ends up on Federley's tape as he was backing out to the neutral zone. Up comes Brockway on the left wing side. Tried to give it to James. Slipped under his stick. Fisher tries the home run pass. That ended up going all the way down past Lockhart, who tried to glove it down, and past Zinchenko, the intended target. Lockhart goes up the boards. Millette couldn't get it, but he poked it off of Wick's tape. And here's Frazee flying in. Back for Millette. Turns the corner, takes a look, drops for Parsons, over to Sim. Looking to Frazee, tried to set him up for the one-timer. Pass may have just been a little too hard or just not in the wheelhouse. Millette with a steal. Gives it to Deasy off the bench. His shot blocked by Metnin. And it stays in play as it popped up in the air. Frazee tried to put that one in front. Puck bouncing, settled down by Millette. Trying to make a pass to the far point. That was blocked. And Murphy just puts it softly into the Prowlers' end so the Dashers can get a change. All the way up to Frazee at the Dashers' blue line. Frazee puts it across to Millette. Couldn't dance past Brozin. Puck tied up in his feet. And a nice glove save by Frazee to keep that puck from going out of the zone. Frazee has it now, but he couldn't load the gun as Rothy came in. Rothy goes off the boards. Couldn't get around Parsons. Sims first on the puck. DC starts his way out. Gave it up to James. Works in. Looking towards Frazee as he was heading to the net. But they just couldn't connect. Brozin back the other way. On for Rothy from the outside. And Parsons got his stick on that shot. And it missed the net. James able to slip by. But a hand pass called against the Prowlers. So that is the reason for the whistle, as Luke James would have been able to start a 2-on-1. Faceoff will come all the way back to the Prowlers' end. .5:23 left to go in period one. As Davis and Graham get set to draw. Tied up right on the dot. Lots of players trying to pull it loose. And shot off the side of the net by Klemmer. Telstrom starts up. Gives it over to James. This time he'll toss it around behind the net. Bowers plays it right up the near side to Slarks. Keeps it moving. Comes out to the neutral zone. Federley back into the offensive end with Johnson and Graham. Federley a spinorama try that Bowers was ready for. Knocked down, Slarks. Right back up that strong side. Petroritsin kept it in again. And now Petroritsin tried a soft pass to Graham. Comes all the way to Johnson. Out to Brockway, the one-timer. Bowers got a piece. Denny, reverse. Now battled for. Federley trying to pull it away from Wick. Klemmer able to move it up the wall, but right into Brockway. Brockway fighting off Klemmer. Slarks tried to go the other way with the puck. A diving play by Brockway able to prevent it. And they'll say Brockway was held up by Klemmer. So the Prowlers to the power play, holding the penalty. And we will be right back with Port Huron trying to double the advantage on the man advantage.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
back here in Danville. Prowlers to their first power play of the game. Brett Clemmer, 2 minutes for holding. Prowlers power play went 1 for 3 last night. They scored on their first power play opportunity, then got 2 in the third when it was already 7-1. Didn't do too much with those opportunities, but none too concerned about that, certainly. But Joel Frazee back in his usual power play spot, as he will take the draw to open this man advantage, his unit out there. But Ben Brockway drawing the penalty, had a goal and an assist last night, including his first pro goal, and a heck of a celebration to boot for Brockway. Millette, Frazee, one-timer, he scores! Welcome back, Joel Frazee, wearing number 14. And the Prowlers make it 2-0 just like that. And I don't think Kenny Stiles will get any kind of credit for that goal, even though it was his jersey that shot that puck. But Frazee, the power play specialist, has now taken the team lead with 6 power play goals this year. It only took 8 seconds of power play time. The Prowlers double their lead. And they do announce Kenny Stiles for the goal here in the arena. But it is Joel Frazee from Reggie Millette and Brett Lockhart. And that means Millette extends his point streak to 10 games, which is the longest by a Prowler this season. Zare was the longest by a Prowler for a few games now. Now up to double digits. So Reggie Millette has been on fire since he came off the IR about a month ago now. Here's Ludwig Thelstrom floating it along towards Johnson. Couldn't bring in that pass. He tried to one-touch it over to Federley. Instead, it's Mullins spinning away from Graham as the Prowlers get some fresh bodies out. Mullins skates up ice, gets to the Prowler blue line, sends it in on Nusiainen. Easy stick save to the corner. Bussell moves it over to the far side. Brockway tried to poke it along. Comes to the point, Denny gets it down and around. Petrovitsin hustling after it ahead of Fisher. Those two come together. Bussell able to tap the puck back to Brockway. Hanging up behind his own net. And he waits for the breakout to develop. 2:40 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Bussell over to Petrovitsin. Makes a move at the blue line. Left the puck behind though. And they'll say offsides against the Prowlers. Isaiah Paris doesn't agree, as he was the one that touched up. But the faceoff will come outside of the Dashers zone. And Joe Frazee, most recent goal scorer, will slide in for the draw against Jawan Davis. DC jumps it right off the draw. Now he has some space all the way around the net, closed off by Igor Kabateyev. Slarks dumps it in. Jawan Davis trying to get it on the other side. Saved by Nusiainen and then poked wide by Kabateyev. Best chance of the game for the Dashers so far. DC collects the puck. He shoots, hit the post, and then Millette couldn't get it on the rebound as it popped up on him. Lockhart fires and a glove save by Bowers. While Terry Nusiainen coming up with a big stop on one end, and then Stepan DC hits the post on the other. Some good back and forth action. Nice float pass towards Davis. He was able to get a good touch on it, and Nusiainen knocked it down with the glove. Kabateyev got a follow-up opportunity that I think he just poked wide. And then DC on the other side, trying to go far side on Bowers. Just caught the iron, and it didn't settle down for Millette, who was all by himself right at the side of the post. That landed nicely for him. He would have gotten a good opportunity in an empty cage. Nice hit by Brockway there on Rothy as he entered the zone. Well, now it's Brozin sending it up high to Heading. A drive deflected by traffic into the corner. Delstrom's pass behind James, slips all the way down. but not enough for icing. And now there's a Prowler down in the Port Huron end. That's James, slow to his skates. He'll get back into the play though as Brosnan dangles, and a save by Nusiainen on Salov, who found that puck in the slot. Rothy cycles it deep. Brosnan lets it go through. And now Salov and James wrestling away from the puck. Johnson moves up the ice with it. Johnson dangling in. He took a hit from Metnin. Meanwhile, the play was whistled down back in the Prowlers zone as Salov and James are getting into it. And now everybody getting into it in the Dashers' end. 3-on-3 wrestling match. Rothy has Johnson wrapped up. Henning and Graham tied up, and it was Sim and Metnin face to face. Salov and James are heading to the penalty boxes. I'm not sure what sparked whatever went on down at the other end as I was watching James and Salov battle behind the play. Johnson took a hard hit from Metnin right as that whistle blew. It's tough to hear the whistle as it came all the way down at the other end of the ice. That might have been what sparked that. Doesn't look like anything will come from what happened down at that end, but Salov and James will get matching penalties, and we might get some 4-on-4 here with 64 seconds left in period one. Well, coming up in the Moses Roses Smoke Break first intermission report, we'll take a look at the highlights from last Saturday's game against the Binghamton Black Bears, a wild 8-6 affair. Also look at some storylines from around the FPHL from earlier today, including a trade that was reported last night but confirmed today. And we will do it all for you here on the PHP Network, so don't go anywhere. We, of course, have the out-of-town scores and all that fun stuff as well. So keep it here on the PHP Network when the final buzzer sounds, as they're still putting up the penalties here, and finally they do. 4-on-4 action. Federley, Scantlebury, Lockhart, and Parsons for the Prowlers. Zinchenko, Fisher, Denny, and Mullins for the Dashers. This 4-on-4 will leak into period number 2, barring any more penalties. Scantlebury gives Lockhart the puck, and now Federley. Try to cycle down the boards. It's poked deep by Parsons. Lockhart the first one there. Now Scantlebury. Scantlebury dances around. Scantlebury to the forehand, knocked down by Mullins. And a penalty coming up, hooking the call. Not sure if it's Mullins or Denny, as Scantlebury tried to split between both of them. So the Prowlers will have a 4-on-3 man advantage, and they are taking Brad Denny, the veteran. Second power play of the game for the Prowlers. They scored 8 seconds into their 5-on-4 man advantage. Actually, it's 7 seconds officially. They'll send out Graham, Millette, Federley, and Johnson. 36 seconds left in this period. Federley walks the blue line over to Millette. Prowlers in no hurry with time to set up the right play. Millette looks up, gives to Johnson, one-timer, and he missed it on the short side. Back to Johnson with 17. Federley, Millette, one-timer, he let it go, and the rebound put home by Matt Graham. Another power play goal for the Prowlers, and they make it 3-0. As Johnson's one-timer missed the net, this time they try Millette on the one-time blast. Bowers made the save, but Graham able to tap home his 7th goal of the year, first on the power play. And the Port Huron man advantage is 2 for 2. We'll go back to 4-on-4 action. Final 10 seconds of this period ticking off as Sim gives it over to Thelstrom. Up towards Bussell for one last chance. Knocked off his stick, and that will do it for period number 1. And the Prowlers will head into the locker room with a 3-0 lead. Thanks to that late goal by Matt Graham. as Reggie Millette picks up his second helper of the game, and Austin Federley his second point as he got the other assist on it. Shots on goal in that opening period favoring the Prowlers 16-4. And they have the 3-0 lead. They gave up just 6 shots to the Dashers in the first period last night, their second lowest total against in a first period this season. And they go even lower than that with 4 tonight. As Port Huron controlled that period, Nucian did have to make a good save or two, and he did what he had to do. Keep the Dashers off the board, and his team has a 3-goal lead. Once again, coming up in the Moses Roses smoke break, first intermission report. Take a look at the highlights from last Saturday's game against the Binghamton Black Bears. A resounding victory for the Prowlers, but an absolutely chaotic back-and-forth night at McMorran Place that was helped by a great crowd at McMorran Place. Also take a look at some storylines from around the FPHL. The out-of-town scores, of course, are coming your way. This is the last game in the league to drop the puck, so everybody already in action. We'll catch you up on what they're all doing, game stats as well. So keep it here on the PHP Network as the teams head into the locker rooms to chat about that first 20 minutes. Well, the Prowlers are celebrating 10 years in Port Huron, and you can get special edition 10th anniversary gear at the Prowlers team store. Located on the west end of McMorran Arena, at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your POHO best with gear from the Prowlers team store. It's 3-0 for the visitors tonight in Danville as the Prowlers go for the series sweep. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network, and we'll look back to last Saturday, a wild back-and-forth affair against the Binghamton Black Bears, so keep it here.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
Seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Spinning on the half wall. Looks for a pass, finds Chartrand, who gives it right back. Scantleberry looks and shoots his save. They score! On the rebound, Joel Frazee gets the crowd going early. That game got a little bit out of hand. Here's a drop for Kirkby. Big save, Nusiainen. Lockhart goes over to Johnson back in the neutral zone. Touched in by James. McAnanima left it there for Anderson. Frazee centered. DC scores! A turnover in the Black Bears' end, and Joel Frazee sets up Stephen DC to give the Prowlers the lead. DC able to slip away from a check of Ramaker's. Now Thelstrom back for DC. Delayed penalty coming up against Binghamton. So Black Bears won't go to the power play. They score! Parsons sent it through, and somehow it gets behind McAnanima. That was a weird one, but the Prowlers will take it. They're back within one. Pulls up at the red line, leaves it for Graham, gets around Bond, grabs it on the other side. Graham in front, Chartrand, wrap try, doesn't go, and Johnson scores! We're all tied up in Port Huron. Alex Johnson sends the crowd into a frenzy. Tried to slide it up ice. Kept in by Cervoni at the line. And now Scantleberry's on a break. Anderson hustling to cut him down. He scores! Tucker Scantleberry puts one in the back of the net. No controversy here. And we're tied up back at 5. And two of the better goaltenders in the FPHL. And they have been statistically this season, especially coming into the weekend as Nusiainen makes another save, this time on Anderson. And it comes to Scantleberry again. Head up, turns back, and goes to Lockhart once more. Millette shoots, he scores! Reggie Millette gets it to go from the blue line. It's 6-6. Poirier steps out. Sends a saucer pass. That's tipped towards Henry. Disrupted. And the Prowlers come back on the counter. DC, Frazee, shot, kick save. They score! DC on the rebound. And the Prowlers are up 7-6. First of 2 series between those two teams this month. And that's it for the season series between them. Here's Chartrand trying to settle down a bouncing puck. Styles turn around, try, that didn't work. Johnson shoots, he scores! Call your insurance agent, Alex Johnson. The Prowlers have taken a 2-goal lead with 4:47 to go.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here at David S. Palmer Arena. 3-0 Prowlers through the first 20 minutes of play here. They get goals from Austin Federley, Joel Frazee, and Matt Graham. The latter two were power play goals. And Port Huron has the early lead heading into period 2. And you just saw the highlights from that resounding win over the Binghamton Black Bears a week ago. Of course, Brian Larson, the honorary head coach for that game on law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics night. So he got another win on his record. Congratulations to Brian on that. And yeah, the offense has been working for the Prowlers these past few games, ever since New Year's Eve when they scored 7 against the Rockers. It's continued, and it's continued here tonight. 3 goals already through the first period. But before we continue talking about this game, let's go around the league. We start with some storylines, and talking about the Black Bears, their head coach Brent Sherwood was fined. I hope nobody misconstrues my words or takes that one out of context. He was fined after picking up a game misconduct in the second period of last night's Black Bears victory over the Motor City Rockers. So he should be back behind the bench tonight as the Black Bears and Rockers finish up their 2-game set. But again, his wallet just a little bit lighter. Malik Johnson returned from loan as he will rejoin the Athens Rock Lobsters after a 6-game stint with the South Carolina Stingrays in the ECHL. Had an assist in those 6 games and now returns to Athens. And we talked about it a little bit last night. It was unconfirmed, not on the transactions page, but it was reported by teams that Michael Mercurio was traded from the Wolves to the Zydeco and then to the Bobcats. The Wolves to the Zydeco trade was on transactions earlier this week, but today they officially put out their Mercurio being flipped to the Bobcats as he leaves the only team he's ever known in the Watertown Wolves and will now become a Bobcat. A big pickup for Blue Ridge trying to make the playoffs in a very competitive Continental Division, as all of those teams are very good except for the Mississippi Seawolves, all of them with great records early on this season. So we'll see who gets left out on that side. Bobcats trying not to be left out for the second time in as many seasons. As we continue around the league, we go to our out-of-town scoreboard, and we start with the Bobcats. And they're up 3-0 right now on the Danbury hat-tricks. Andrew Utero, Alex Nerwinski, and Nick McHugh with the goals for the Bobcats. A good-looking score line for Prowlers fans, as the hat-tricks were in third place last night, got jumped by Port Huron, and now sitting a couple points back of the Prowlers in fourth, but certainly the Prowlers would like to see as much distance between them and the Bobcats, and the hat-tricks, as possible. Bobcats doing them a favor, at least so far tonight. That one, a late stages, second period. They're midway through the second in Watertown, and the Venom have just recently tied the score. Dustin Gesso with his second goal of the game. It's 3-3 there in Watertown. Davide Gaeta has a goal for the Wolves against his former team. Carter Thornton, Mark Patero also scoring for Watertown. Oliver Baudon with another goal for HC Venom. Black Bears are back in Fraser, as I mentioned, finishing up their 2-game series with the Motor City Rockers. And the Rockers built a 2-0 lead early in the second, but Tyson Kirkby and CJ Stubbs have scored to tie that one up. All 4 goals in that game have come via the special teams, 3 power play goals and a shorthanded goal, that belonging to Eli Rivers of the Motor City Rockers. Thunderbirds trying to get some revenge from last night's loss in Columbus, up 4-2 now on the River Dragons as they play in the final minutes of period number 2. Joe Cangelosi, Gus Ford has 2, and Nick Keeley the other one for the Thunderbirds. Cangelosi has 1. Meanwhile, Dragons getting goals from Brian Dunford and Shewedin Blacksmith, who has 2 goals in as many games with the River Dragons. Finally, our last game of the night that actually dropped the puck right around the same time we did in Monroe. The Moccasins up 2-0 on the Seawolves. Blake Anderson and Corey Cunningham with the goals there. Parker Muskell has an assist for the Moccasins, as Monroe looking to avenge the loss last night to the Seawolves, as they are through 20 minutes of play, and the Mocs with a 2-0 lead. Of course, here it is 3-0 Prowlers. We take a look at the stats so far, and Port Huron's power play is showing out tonight, scoring on their first and only shot of each of their man advantages. For Joel Frazier's goal on the power play, that came 7 seconds into the man advantage, and Matt Graham's came 28 seconds into the power play. They've been making quick work of these power plays, have the Prowlers, and they are up 3-0. A little bit testier, certainly on the penalty side, than last night's game. Got a couple of coincidentals, some roughing minors all the way around. Port Huron's PK 1-for-1. And the power play getting it done as well. Special teams have been special in that first 20 minutes as the Prowlers take the ice for period number 2. We get to our PHP Network trivia question, and it involves Dashers captain Justin Brozin, who sits 4th in FPHL history with 208 goals, most of them as a Dasher, whether it was the first iteration of the Dashers in the FPHL or the 4 goals he has this season. He sits 4th in league history. We want to know who are the top 3 in league history in that category. So put your guess in the comments section, and we will give you the correct answer coming up at the start of period number 3. Luke James and Nikolai Solov back to the penalty boxes as they still have some time to serve. We'll start this second period 4-on-4. Valtteri Nusiainen in the goal crease to our right. Not too busy, but he did make all 4 saves he had to in the opening frame. Eli Bowers a lot busier on the other side as he made 13 saves on 16 Prowlers shots. Once again, still 4-on-4 for 54 seconds to begin this second period. Prowlers will begin with Frazee, Millette, Sim, and Parsons. Dashers countering with Fisher, Murphy, Wick, and Denny. Frazee, Fisher lining up at center to begin period number 2. And we're underway. Prowlers up by 3. Wick, rink wide feed, kick to his stick by Fisher. But he couldn't get the pass over to Murphy. They do get it over to Thomas Murphy. And he goes back to Wick. Long pass, touched in by Fisher. Nusiainen out to play it. He'll push it over to this side to Frazee. Headman feed looking for Millette. That eluded him. And that will be icing against the Prowlers. 31 seconds into the second. Maybe just too long a look from Frazee. Couldn't get the timing down as he picked up his head, saw Millette, and then took an extra second to send that pass over. Puck may have been on edge or hopping away along the boards there. That might be why Frazee took that extra second. So off this face-off, Henning goes down the wall, sends it towards the cage through a maze of bodies, ends up going off the back boards. Fisher turning away from Parsons. Fisher moved it up to Henning. Murphy goes ducking for cover away from that shot that was deflected high. And now here comes Millette with Sim. Millette working to the outside. Turns away from Mietinen. James and Salov are out of the penalty boxes. We're back to 5-on-5. Fresh off the bench, it's Lockhart skating into the puck. He has it now in the corner. Took a hard hit from Henning. Murphy took the puck. And now Mietinen. They try the left wing side. Salov to Henning. Touches it to Jawan Davis, who lost the handle. He's taken it hard by Scantlebury. Sucker Scantlebury finishing Jawan Davis there right near the Dashers bench. Here's Federley. Down low to Brockway, jumping into the play. He cycles it around behind the net. Federley gets there ahead of Mullins. Federley trying to kick it back up to his stick, pushed it on goal. And Bowers had the pad down. Federley and a Dasher go in together. That's Davis, who's had a rough shift. Brockway to Scantlebury, turns towards the net, slipped it down, looking for the stick of Boussel's, lifted by Mullins. And sent down the zone. Brockway turning away from his 13 opposite Kabateyev. Denny chased by Scantlebury. Hands it off to Mullins, who gave it back. Denny forced by Johnson to pull up, which goes up the wall. Lockhart able to skate into it, but had to wait for Johnson to get onside, so he had to go back. Graham tips this one in. Bowers left it for Mullins. Got past both Petroditsin and Rothy, and all the way down to the Prowlers zone. Graham up to Johnson, tried to slip it through for Paris, but they just couldn't connect. So Isaiah Paris would have had a nice lane to the net. Rothy up for Brazen. He and Thelstrom come together, but I think it was a delayed offsides against the Dashers. So they finally blow it dead as Brazen touched back up. And we'll get another whistle and another face-off. It's approached 3 minutes gone here in period 2. Just one shot on net. And it belongs to Tucker Scantlebury and the Prowlers. Frazee pushes this face-off to the wall. It's dumped in, cross corner by Wick. Deasy couldn't get it out. Poked to the middle of the ice. Brazen a shot, kick save and a beauty from Nusiainen. Shutting down the 4th leading goal scorer in FPHL history, as some people may have just found out with our trivia question just moments ago. As Wick swung and missed at that one. Frazee back pass in front looking for DC. That puck was on edge, and he couldn't bring it in to put it on goal. Brazen over to Rothy. As the dance around Brockway, Lockhart comes in to assist to knock the puck away. Brockway spins Rothy to the ice, and a holding penalty coming up to Ben Brockway, and the Dashers will go to their 2nd power play of the game. The only shot on the Dashers' first power play belonged to Jamie Boussel of the Prowlers, as Port Huron killed it off with relative ease. And a chance for the Dashers to get themselves on the board and back in this hockey game. Remember last night, Dashers came out flying in the 2nd period, got a quick goal. But then Prowlers came back with 3 of their own in rapid succession that put the game out of reach. Off the face-off. Brozin a drive. Missed it wide. That puck was on edge. Fisher knocked down the clearing attempt. His shot blocked by Parsons. Skating back into it is Denny. Poked along the half wall. Murphy leaves it for Denny. Dasher set up. Fisher out to Denny. Right up top. Over to Fisher. Looking to the net. His shot blocked. And now Bussell looking to go the other way. Has Scantleberry with him. 2-on-1 short-handed. Scantleberry returns to Bussell. But he couldn't get his stick. Only his skate. And the head man feed up for Fisher off his tape. So now Lockhart sends it all the way down. Luke James after it. Bowers all the way out of his goal crease to play it away. Davis over to Brozin. Pulls up. Had it taken away. Graham will move up slowly with James. Henning took it from Matt Graham, and out comes Joan Davis. Tried to send it all the way across, and Graham on the back check steals that pass. Henning collects back in his own end. 46 seconds left on the Dashers' power play. Henning over to Solov. Slips past the check of Lockhart. Gives it back to the top to Rothy. Now Mettinen makes a pass all the way across. Solov on the backhand. Kicked out by Nusiainen. Rothy was Henning and Petroditsin battling right in front of Nusiainen. Rothy there as well. Plenty of traffic in front of the Prowlers goaltender. Mettinen sends it there, and Nusiainen able to find it and cover up. Petroditsin upended, and Nusiainen has lost his mask. Well, Terry Nusiainen just getting low and making sure that that puck doesn't slip past him with all kinds of traffic in front. Flips the glove on top. He'll get the whistle here. Face-off coming over to his left as he resets his mask. Should be the 7th shot on net for the Dashers if they give it to them. They have not put it down yet. We'll find out if they do that when we come back, as they've decided to take the media timeout. So spend a few seconds apart, and then we'll come back together in just a few.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live where you work. Work where you play. Is your work commute making you miserable? Quit the commute. Explore hot jobs in St. Clair County paying $40,000 to $100,000 or more. Visit stclairhotjobs.com. Spend more time doing what you love. If you're not currently living in St. Clair County, or you know friends or family that moved away but are ready to come back, then visit stclairhotjobs.com to find a new job and make the move.
Back here in Danville, 17 seconds left on the penalty to Ben Brockway. 2 shots on goal for the Dashers so far on this power play. 7 for the game. They're out shooting the Prowlers 3-1 in this second period. Dustin Henning works down the board. Sent it on goal. Kick save by Nusiainen as Murphy got a touch on it, and then Nusiainen kicked it out. Here come the Prowlers shorthanded. Federley, another return feed to Millette. That ends up coming right in on Bowers, and he hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. Murphy went back to the Dashers bench holding his wrist. They have let Brockway step out of the box. So the penalty is over. Prowlers PK 2 for 2. But Henning sent that puck on net. Murphy got a touch on it. He didn't get it on goal, and then Nusiainen kicked out that right pad to knock the puck away from the top of his crease. But Brockway out there on the ice right now, fresh out of the penalty box. This one sent all the way around towards Bowie Slarks. Lost his edge. Now he's back up, and he gives it over to Kabateyev, who's run into by Brockway. Millette tried to touch pass to Frazee. They couldn't connect. Lockhart gets it back for Port Huron. Millette into the offensive zone. Lockhart with him along with DC. Millette dances away from a few dashers, gives it to Lockhart. Over to Thelstrom, right back to Brett Lockhart as he walks the line. Bangs it down and around. Comes all the way to Frazee on the far side. Indirect feed to DC. Knocked away from him. Now DC has to hustle back, and he wins the race to the puck. And Stefan DC this time goes up to Luke James. Plenty of dashers back. James in slowly, trying to fight through a couple of defenders. Move back up the wall. Brazen steps into James. Let's move back to the point. Here's Thelstrom, poked off his stick, recollects. Loose puck taken by Rothy and sent down the zone. Petroditsin gives it to Graham. Wasn't a clean exchange, and Salov able to dump it deep to the Prowlers' quarter. James lost it to Rothy. Petroditsin cuts it off in front. Puck hopping up on him a little bit. He's able to make the pass to Johnson. Now Graham. Couldn't drag it through Mullins in the corner. Petroditsin keeps it alive. Now he'll head down the wall. Took a check from Rothy. And up comes Mullins. On for Brazen. Tried to hand back off from Mullins, but he overskated the puck. And back the other way is Federley. Federley on the outside. Rising try. Knocked down by Bowers, and he has it for a whistle and a face-off. As the Dashers got the idea of an offensive opportunity, Prowlers had some trouble with it in their own end, but they couldn't get anything going towards the Port Huron net a couple of times during that last sequence. Offensive zone draw for the Prowlers. Bussell wins it back for Scantlebury. His shot missed the net. Bussell cycles it around. Scantlebury beats Fisher to it. Those two tie up in the corner. Slides up towards Zinchenko. And now Fisher. Head up. Goes along the wall to Metnin. Back across to Fisher. Outlet feed finds Murphy. 2-on-2 rush. Murphy, a shot blocked by Sim. And Sim takes Murphy into the boards. Murphy still working. Cycles for Zinchenko. Fired across to Mullins. Floats it down low off the backboards. Murphy spinning away from Sim. Fisher tried to bounce it out in front. That hit Federley. Puck pinballing around before Bussell is able to backhand it on for Scantlebury. He scores! What a feed by Bussell to catch Scantlebury going down the right wing side. And he puts it home. Prowlers up 4-0. This line strikes again for Port Huron, 16th of the year for Scantlebury. A beautiful saucer pass from the stick of Jamie Bussell, who has his second helper of the game. And the Prowlers open it up to number 4. DC trying to make it another as Bowers came out to challenge. Wick able to take the puck, go up towards Rothy. On for Solov, enters the offensive zone. Solov tripped up by Brockway, and they'll call that. The back referee has it. Tripping is the signal, and Ben Brockway back to the penalty box for the second time in this period. And the Dashers to the power play, the seconds after giving up another goal. Brian Parsons picked up the other assist on the goal by Scantlebury in his 200th game as a Port Huron Prowler, 232nd overall in the FPHL. The Prowlers PK back to work for the third time. Parsons sends it up the glass. Denny got down along the boards to keep it alive. There's Denny again. Settles things down. Graham shadowing him. Fisher trying to get in Graham's way. Denny just goes down and around behind the net to Murphy. Zinchenko with a shot, knocked down in front. Zinchenko, another try, and Nusiainen has that as well. And it's cleared down ice by James. Zinchenko got a good look at the net. Not sure if both of those shots or even if one of them got all the way through to Nusiainen. So there's plenty of traffic in front of the Prowlers netminder. Denny over to Fisher. Sends this one off the glass and around. Zinchenko gets it on the other side. Murphy behind the net. Now Zinchenko up high to Denny. Brings it back in. Shot deflected and poked wide on the rebound as Nusiainen made the first save. Brazin has two Prowlers on him. Federley takes the puck and he skates up with DC. DC recollects along the half wall all by himself, makes a nice move all the way around the net, but he's surrounded. Pass back to Zinchenko, doesn't go well. Scantlebury, Hellstrom, and his shot rose out of play off the stick of a dasher. 31 seconds left on the penalty to Ben Brockway. We'll have the rest of this Dashers power play for you when we come back. Prowlers up by 4.
See that? That's what 100% mozzarella looks like. What dough made daily looks like. What fresh ingredients and 8 irresistible flavored crusts on pizza cooked to perfection looks like. It's so much flavor, we don't even know if it's legal to have this much flavor. Now you can get that famous flavor for only $8.99. Wait, a large one-topping pizza for $8.99? That's a deal. It's a steal. No, it's a crime. Just $8.99 for a one-topping pizza full of our famous flavor. Now that's how we do a deal.
Hungry?
Howie!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Back here in Danville, 31 seconds left on this Dashers power play. They have 3 shots on goal on it, but they have not been able to beat Valtteri Nusiainen yet tonight, pardon me. 11 shots for the Dashers, 7 coming in this second period. The face-off is down in their end after the shot from Ludwig Hellstrom just before the TV timeout. Ripped up out of play. Prowlers are causing plenty of havoc down there shorthanded. They'll back out of the zone after winning the faceoff to try and kill more time, but Henning able to cut off the clearing attempt. That backfires just a little bit on the Prowlers. As Petronitsin take it in to the wall. Scantlebury trying to chop it out. Pinballs around to the slot. Solov slipped it just wide. Scantlebury able to swipe this one down nice, and that will take care of the rest of the penalty time. So the True Balance penalty kill 3 for 3 tonight for the Prowlers. The power play is 2 for 2. And Port Huron has a 4-0 lead past the midway point of this hockey game. Henning's long pass was blocked by the stick of Graham, but comes through for Rothi. Well, the Prowlers get back to attack him. He couldn't get a good shot away as Hellstrom and Paris are both coming back right on him. Nusiainen able to collect what attempt he did get to the net. Hang out to it for a whistle and a face-off. Dashers out shooting the Prowlers 8-4 now in this period, though they have had 2 power plays in the frame. Prowlers have the period's only goal. Fisher touches it back to Mullins off the faceoff. His shot punched to the corner by Nusiainen as he got the blocker on it. Slarks battling with Johnson. Comes down to Parsons. He moves up away from checks from Fisher. Now the puck ends up on Denny's stick. Fisher up to Kabateyev. Tried to get it to Slarks, and he couldn't bring it in, so that's an icing against the Dashers with 8:23 left to go in period 2. Prowlers certainly not messing around this weekend. You came into this weekend with everything that went on. You knew this could be a trap weekend. Dashers have almost trapped and successfully trapped one good FPHL team this year. Almost successfully trapped a couple more here in this building. The Prowlers have not fallen into it. Dominating win last night and up 4-0 now. As Ben Brockway goes all the way around the net. That's about where he scored from last night for his first pro goal. This time he was stopped up before getting the wrap chance off. Here is Brockway looking for a centering feed. Now he steps out in front, shot off a stick. That will fly into the protective netting out of play. It's true in this league, probably more than ever, the parity. Any team can really beat any team in this league, and any given night, we've certainly seen one night one team gets blown out, and the next night they come back and get a victory. It can happen. The Prowlers doing a good job though right now of buckling down and making sure that they don't take the Dashers too lightly. They've gotten back for their goaltender, not just last night, but also tonight. We saw in that Rothy chance. As Scantleberry looks to work his way up ice, surrounded, takes the shot, goes off a stick. As Scantleberry back feed in front. Henning cut it off. Bussell turning in the corner, up high to Parsons. Looks, takes the shot. That one kicked off of Scantleberry at the side of the net. Bounced out the other side. Scantleberry slowly heading off to the Prowlers bench. He looks to be in a little bit of pain. Meanwhile, Bussell with a steal to Johnson. Back across to Federle. Couldn't get a good shot away. Federle tried to turn it back on net. Then Bussell scores! Jamie Bussell with his back to the net just whacked at that puck. It slipped 5-hole on Eli Bowers. And Bussell has himself a tally to make it a handful for Port Huron. And the rout is on here in Danville for the second straight night. That makes it a 3-point night for Jamie Bussell. And again, he just whacked at that puck. Dashers were trying to clear it out. I believe it was Henning who was trying to push it away from his goal crease. And Bussell just whacked at it the other direction. Just caught Bowers napping. As Tristan Sim now back in his own end. Moves it up to Alex Johnson playing forward this weekend. James on his backhand, stopped by Bowers, and he hangs on. 6:43 left to go here in period 2. Austin Federle and Alex Johnson pick up the assists on Bussell's goal. Johnson now with his team-high 24th assist of the season as he took over the team lead from Matt Graham in that department after 4 assists last night, part of his 5-point night. Graham this season with 21 helpers, and he's led the team wire to wire up until last night's game finished. Here is Graham with a steal at the blue line. Couldn't slide it down deep though. Murphy couldn't push his way through Petroditson. Graham on his backhand, out to Luke James. James across, Delstrom just couldn't pull the trigger as that puck slipped away from him. Here's Petroditson, a shot, and he missed it wide. Delstrom on the other side, tried to put it back on net, and Bowers able to make the save. Oh, Nikita Petroditson getting a little bit of razzing from Alex Johnson as he heads back to the bench. Petroditson still searching for his first pro goal. Had a golden opportunity there, but just couldn't find the back of the net. Meanwhile, after that play, Luke James and Trey Fisher getting acquainted. They were separated by men in stripes. Faceoff will be deep in Bowers' end to his left, between Davis and Frazee. Both one-time Blue Ridge Bobcats. If I knew the timeline of when Jawan Davis played his one game there off the top of my head, I'd be able to tell you if they were teammates or not. I don't remember right now. Here's Nusiainen bouncing it off the back wall. Brockway dumped by Klemmer after he made that outlet feed. DC overskated the puck. Davis tried to play it to the middle of the ice. Klemmer tried to throw a hit on Frazee, who just stepped around him and grabbed the puck. Mullins up to Davis. Slipped it down towards Nusiainen, had Brockway hustling towards him. Ben Brockway decided not to flatten Jawan Davis that time. Lockhart steps up for a hit on Klemmer. Mullins has the first pass come back to him. This time he'll dump it towards DC. DC trying to get that puck back flat, and he goes back to Lockhart. Federley starts up ice, floats a pass across to Brockway. Now back to Lockhart. Prowlers in no hurry as he sends it up, and Federley touches it in. Bowers keeps it moving for Miettinen. Brausen kicks it to his tape. Across to Salov. But too far in front of him. Sim plays it to Bussell. Scantleberry hustles for it on the half wall. And now Sim starts his way up ice. Sim into the offensive zone. Floats it over off the far corner boards right to Bussell. Gets it back deep. Scantleberry spinning. Took a bump from Rothy. Dasher's playing a lot more physical in this game than I saw last night. Last night it just felt like, and I hate to say it, oh, that one took the hop out the door and almost cost Valtteri Nusiainen. That's how the Prowlers scored one of their goals last night. But I hate to say it, last night it looked like the Dashers just kind of rolled over. As Scantleberry from the corner tried to catch Bowers out of position. Hit the side of the cage, and here's Parsons now. Fisher plays it around, took a hit from James. Mullins skating up, 3 Prowlers back to greet him, and in the long-range try, gloved down by Valtteri Nusiainen. The Dashers ramping up the physicality. Prowlers still ramping up the goals. They're up 5-0. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
Back here in Danville. 3:39 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers up by a handful, and most of the damage being done by the line of Austin Federley, Jamie Bussell, and Tucker Scantleberry. Each of them with a goal. Scantleberry 1 assist, and Bussell and Federley 2 assists each, 3 points apiece. But all of them multi-point nights already tonight. They've looked good. Here's Mullins whiffing on a shot right off the face-off. Ends up going wide. Johnson over to Felstrom, and Graham touches it for Alex Johnson to skate into. Throws on the brakes on the left wing side. Johnson spinning. Kicks it up to the point to Petronitsin. Back down to Johnson. Graham tried to give it back. Johnson works up the wall. Down behind the net towards James. Lifts the stick of Mullins, tried to stuff it, and Bauer's able to make the save as Luke James was looking for his first goal as a Prowler.
Get it out of there.
Johnson able to fly in and poke it away from Mullins. Graham in tight. Saved by Bowers. Petronitsin gets it deep once more. Fisher up the wall. Murphy had his stick lifted by Johnson. Now Fisher starts to work up ice. 3-on-2. The Dashers hurry. Get to Denny. Denny on his backhand. Tried to center. Good play by Thelstrom to block that pass away. It's knocked out of the air with a high stick and then played by whichever team successfully knocked it out of the air. I'm actually not sure which team that was. And it looks like they'll say it was the Dashers because the faceoff is coming out of the zone. A couple of sticks went up in the air for it. Knocked it down behind the net after Thelstrom got down to block the pass from Denny. Off the draw, Lockhart collects, and that big line out there right now for the Prowlers that's put a lot of offense in the back of the net tonight. Brockway to Lockhart. Up towards Federley, hands off for Bussell. Flying in with Scantleberry, throws on the brakes. Scantleberry across to Brockway, walks in, he shoots, saved by Bowers. Ben Brockway with a good chance there. Eli Bowers able to shut it down with the glove. 9th shot of the period for Port Huron, 25th of the hockey game. Shot on goal totals a little bit more modest on the Port Huron side tonight. 16 in the first, 9 so far here in the second. They had 20 and 21 in those periods respectively last night. Face off, one back to Sim. Frazee to the cage, deflected, and just wide as DC got a touch on it, knocking it out of the air. Here's Justin Henning, the defenseman, starting the rush. Pitchforks it off the near side boards. Davis couldn't collect it. Now Millette absorbs contact from Kabateyev. Suicide scrum. Kabateyev trying to fight his way through. And the pass to the point where nobody was home because Dustin Henning had headed off the ice. Comes all the way back down to Bowers. Hands off for Wick, who got on in Henning's replacement. Kabateyev runs into his own man, Slark. Sim in the battle as well. Pops out to Frazee. DC back to Frazee. And Millette just a hair offside at the Dashers line with 1:08 to go here in period 2. Stick around for the Moses Roses Smoke Break second intermission report here on the PHP Network. We'll chat about this weekend so far. Prowlers with 14 goals and still 21 plus minutes left to play this weekend. Also take a look at the upcoming schedule, out-of-town scores, and the game stats all coming your way. So keep it here on the PHP Network. Off the drop, comes to Brockway. And he gave it away. Zinchenko had knocked away by Lockhart. And now Graham sends Johnson in with Paris. Johnson over and stick in the lane by Denny, able to prevent that pass from getting through. Zinchenko. His pass didn't get to Fisher cleanly, so Johnson recollects. Up towards Paris. Graham couldn't dance in. Wick over to Denny. He has some skating room and he'll take it. Brad Denny to the red line. Rips this one all the way around the wall. Lockhart chips it through for Graham, takes a look. He heads up into the offensive zone. Paris absorbs contact from Henning. Murphy up the boards towards Fisher. Took a hit from Matt Graham. Brockway dumps it back around in the final 10 seconds of the period. Mullins hangs on to it there. Tries a long feed towards Zinchenko. That doesn't work. Icing waved off. And that's going to do it for period number 2. As the Prowlers add a couple more to their total. And they will take a 5-0 lead into period number 3. Shots on goal, though, in that period, favoring the Dashers 12-9. And for the game, still in Port Huron's advantage, 25-16. As the teams head off the ice for what will likely be the final intermission of this weekend series between the Dashers and the Prowlers. Only visit to Danville for the Prowlers this year. The only other time they'll play the Dashers is in Topeka, Kansas in a couple of weeks, right at the end of the month of January. And be sure to tune in for those. We'll be there on the PHP network. So be sure to check in with us when we're in Topeka, Kansas for those neutral site games. The Prowlers, as announced this week by the FPHL, will be playing as the Topeka Roadrunners, and not even under the old Roadrunners logo. It will be a brand new logo. Dashers will be playing as the Topeka Scarecrows, again with a brand new logo that was unveiled by the league earlier this week. But again, that's in a few more weeks at the end of the month. For now, the Prowlers have to focus on the final 20 minutes of play and getting out of here with the 3 points. But before we can get there, we'll have the Moses Roses Smoke Break second intermission report right here on the PHP network. We'll go over everything that's gone on this weekend so far. We'll also take a look at the out-of-town scores, the upcoming schedule for the Prowlers, and much more. So keep it here on the PHP network after the final buzzer, or keep it here on the PHP network right now as we're going to go through all of that here on the Moses Roses intermission report. Secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game on Friday, January the 17th. Puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. And of course, that is the Casey Harris return game, the former Beacon and someone who's played one game as a celebrity with the Prowlers before a few years ago. Now he's back for redemption, as he puts it. So he will be back and playing in that game for the Prowlers. And for those asking, yes, he will be taking shifts. He will be out on the ice. It's not just a figurehead. He will be out there, and he will be mixing it up for the Prowlers. So be sure to get your tickets, again, at phprowlers.com/tickets, or you can call the box office during box office hours at 810-985-6166. Or again, you can scan that QR code on your screen now to be a part of the Prowlers' 10th anniversary season. Port Huron up by a handful as we get set for period number 3 here on the PHP network.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Welcome back here to David S. Palmer Arena. It's 5-0 Prowlers right now, and just been a weekend of taking care of business. If you're the Port Huron Prowlers, you knew the stakes coming in. This was a team that, coming into the weekend, had lost 20 games in a row, dead last in the league, 1 win, 6 points all season. It is January, and still, again, just 1 win. New head coach. Cut both of their goaltenders, who frankly had been 2 of their best players, if not the best players overall for them this season. Brought in 2 new goaltenders. And after all of that, they had to play a couple of hockey games against the Port Huron Prowlers, who were red hot offensively. And the Prowlers certainly could have taken this Dashers team lightly. They could have mailed in this weekend, especially after an emotionally charged last weekend against the Binghamton Black Bears. A letdown certainly could have happened. But credit to the Port Huron Prowlers, because they did not have that letdown. They kept their foot on the gas. They scored a season-high 9 goals last night. They're up to 5 here tonight. They're playing good defense in front of their goaltenders. They got Yoshi his first win last night, trying to get Valtteri Nusiainen his 10th of the year tonight. And that 10th win would move him into 7th, tied with Tucker Tynan, with the 7th most wins in a season in Prowlers history, and then 4 points back of a few other goaltenders for the most wins in a season. And as Valtteri Nusiainen, again, he had a long last week. Played all 3 games, Rockers, Black Bears, and did give up a lot of goals, but certainly made a lot of big saves and was a huge part of why the Prowlers actually did win that game against Binghamton, because the Black Bears certainly had some really great looks that could have changed the way that game played out. But tonight, Nusiainen has had a little bit less to do, only 16 shots against, 12 of them in that second period, and he has done all he's needed to do. Stopped all 16 of them so far, and the rest of his team has helped him out on the other side with 5 goals. And last night, 9 different goal scorers, and tonight, 5 different goal scorers for the Prowlers, as we take a look at the stats so far in this game for both sides. Special teams have been special. 2 for 2 on the power play. Both of those man advantages coming in the first. They killed off 2 power plays for the Dashers in that second period. So now 3 for 3 on the PK are the Prowlers. And Port Huron is trying to ride this one out. Get on the bus, head back home, and have 3 more points in their back pocket. They'll certainly head into next weekend against the Mississippi Seawolves in 3rd place in the Empire Division, and with an opportunity to set their sights on 2nd place and continue moving up. Again, this was, you looked at the schedule for this month, you looked at the standings for all of these teams, and this was a big opportunity for the Prowlers. If you thought if they could just split against the Black Bears every other game is not just winnable, because every game in this league is winnable. Every other game this month was one that the Prowlers should win. All these games are games that they would be favored in. As you look at the Dashers 3 times, the other game in Topeka against the Dashers will be on February 1st, so they'll play January 31st. You have the Dashers 3 times, Rockers twice, Seawolves twice in this month. And you're talking about the 2 last place teams in their respective divisions, plus the Motor City Rockers, who the Prowlers have dominated this season. And that is Silver Stick Weekend, which is always a fun weekend when the Prowlers and the Rockers get together. All of the Silver Stick teams in town coming to the games. And those will be late starts, actually, at Big Boy Arena and McMorran Place. But we'll get to those later on in the intermission. But the Prowlers making the most of their opportunity here in Danville to skate away with 6 points. They got 3 last night, and they are 20 minutes away and avoiding a collapse of epic proportions away from picking up the other 3 and heading home with, again, 6 more points in their back pocket, and they can eclipse 40 points this season with the win tonight. We have much more coming up on the intermission report. The upcoming schedule and the out-of-town scores are coming your way next, so keep it here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here again at David S. Palmer Arena in Danville, Illinois. Second intermission wrapping up as the Prowlers lead the Dashers 5-0. And before we continue talking about this game, some exciting games going on around the FPHL. We're going to take you to our out-of-town scoreboard first so we can show you what's going on in Fraser. They are live in overtime right now. It's 4-4 as the Black Bears and the Rockers are battling it out, and still in overtime. Each of those teams has earned a point tonight. Go back to the top of the out-of-town scoreboard. Prowlers fans really liking this score as the Blue Ridge Bobcats lead the Danbury Hat Tricks 6-0. And if you're a Dashers fan, maybe a little consolation that the Hat Tricks are getting beaten worse than you are, as it is. Again, 6-0 for Blue Ridge. 6 different goal scorers for the Bobcats in that one as they are rolling Danbury tonight. Venom and Wolves are knotted up at 4 goals apiece. That one in the third period. Davide Gaeta and Lester Brown, the former Dasher, have goals as Brown now with the Venom, and Gaeta with 2 goals now against his former team playing for the Watertown Wolves. Moving on, the Carolina Thunderbirds and Columbus River Dragons Now a 4-3 game as Nolan Slahetka got one back for the Dragons early in the third. They're late in that final frame of regulations, and Columbus still looking for one more to tie the score. Moccasins are imposing their will on the Mississippi Seawolves. They're up 4-0 right now on the Seawolves. Blake Anderson has 2 goals. Corey Cunningham, Kaye Koivuniemi, goal apiece for the Moccasins, as they're trying to split the weekend with the Seawolves. Of course, here it is 5-0. And we went to the out-of-town scoreboard first. Now let's take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, as they will face off against the Seawolves next weekend. A 7:05 Friday puck drop. That will be Casey Harris's return night, as he'll be dressed for the Prowlers. So don't miss that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, or maybe twice-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But Casey Harris will be out there for the Prowlers, taking some shifts and stirring it up. So you'll need to get your tickets for that game. And then the following night, Saturday night, is a Casey's Kids Zone night and a skate with the team after the game against the Seawolves. So big weekend coming up. Lots of things for the fans this weekend against the Seawolves. And then the following weekend, Prowlers stay in Michigan. They have a home-and-home with the Motor City Rockers, and those start times are not incorrect. It is a 7:35 start at Big Boy Arena, 8:05 at McMorran Place on Saturday night, and that is due to the Silver Stick Tournament that is being played at both McMorran Place and Big Boy Arena. And those games going on all day, and the teams participating want to give them an opportunity to come to the games, so they make those games later. So it's 7:35 at Big Boy Arena, 8:05 p.m. at McMorran Place. Stay up a little bit later. The kids will be doing it, so I'm sure everybody else will be able to as well. But again, some home games coming up for the Prowlers. You can get your tickets for all of those at phprowlers.com/tickets. And then on the other side of that, Prowlers will be in Topeka to end the month of January against these same Dashers, who will be known as the Topeka Scarecrows, and the Prowlers known as the Topeka Roadrunners for that weekend. Both teams getting set to step onto the ice for period number 3, and the Prowlers up by a handful. We take a look at our PHP Network trivia question one more time, and luckily this has not changed. Justin Brosnan still at 208 goals, 4th in FPHL history, but we want to know who are the top 3 in league history in that category. Of course, Brosnan was briefly a Prowler. A couple of more Prowlers on this list: Dalton J. and Ahmed Mahfouz, numbers 2 and 3. Of course, Tyler Jurich, the only player in FPHL history to 300 goals in the league. He is number 1 at 302. Mahfouz fell just 4 goals short at 296. And Dalton J, of course, 241. He is the all-time leading goal scorer in Prowlers history, and he sits number 3 in league history. Prowlers have scored plenty of goals here tonight and this weekend. They are up to 14 now for the weekend, 9 last night, 5 tonight. And we still have another 20 minutes up on the clock. Unlike period 2, we will start period 3 at 5-on-5. Prowlers have out Joel Frazie's line to begin. They'll go up against Trey Fisher's line. While Terry Nuciani in the goal crease, 2 hour left. 16 saves on 16 shots through 40 minutes. Eli Bowers, goal crease to our right. 20 saves on 25 Prowler shots. And we're underway in period 3. Stepan DC enters the offensive zone, trying to pass all the way to the backside. That ramped off a stick and hit the glass. Zinchenko on the counter. It's a move to the outside. Zinchenko pulls up. Stymied along the half wall by Parsons. Wick, backhands that one deep. Two-a-side scrum. Frazee and Sim in there. Fisher and Murphy for the Dashers. Zinchenko tried to pull it out, instead slips to DC. And now it's Millette working up. Millette waits for help off the bench. Millette head up, down to Lockhart, touches it towards the net, just pushed it wide. DC wraparound try, and Bowers snuffs that one out to get the whistle and the face-off. We get our first whistle, 56 seconds into period 3. Prowlers with a good chance there. And they'll send out that Bucel line. He'll take the draw against Salov. Salov wins it back to Metnin, wraps it around to Brazin. Metnin tried to poke it out, couldn't do it. Good play by Federley to keep it alive. Tossed out by Henning this time. Lockhart up to Bucel, who sidesteps a hit as he touches it deep. Salov gave it away to Federley. Here's Scantleberry, couldn't dangle around Rothy. Now Rothy tosses it back to the Prowlers end, and Lockhart didn't get all he wanted on that pass, ends up on Slark's tape. Federley turning away from Bowie Slarks. He's able to poke it along to Brockway on the left wing side. Brockway all the way through the crease. Comes out on the other side to Johnson. Trying to get it deep. Mullins skated into it. Delstrom fresh off the bench. Couldn't swipe at that puck. Juwan Davis first on it in the corner. Out to Slarks. Head up. Lost the handle though. And it slipped out of the zone. Dashers have to touch up. So Delstrom gets a free pass out of the zone. Up to Johnson. Drop for Graham. Goes right back to Johnson. Bounce it up the wall. Delstrom gets it deep again. Johnson trying to find it. It's poked at by Denny. And now up towards Davis. Moved out to Zinchenko. Trying to find Davis and send him in. Davis recollects. Took a hit from James. Puck underneath those two. James comes out with it, and he sends it on for Alex Johnson. Has Delstrom joining him. Johnson pulls up, makes a move around Kabateyev, slides it down to Petroritsin. In front, Millette. What a save by Bowers! Kicking out the left pad to rob Reggie Millette. Back the other way came the Dashers, but Davis couldn't find Kabateyev, who was heading towards the Prowler net. Good play by Johnson on the back check to keep Davis from getting that pass through. And here comes Millette the other way again. Millette and Wick come together. Millette in front, and that was cut off by Zinchenko ahead of Frazee. Zinchenko over to Murphy. His shot went off a body, I believe, and wide. And Parsons settles things down. Sim, rake wide feet, looking for Millette. Just got a touch on it, so no icing. Wrapped back up this side. Parsons hustles to keep it in the zone. Down to Frazee in the corner. Tried to center, comes all the way up for Sim. DC looking to the net, and a shoulder save by Bowers. This one sent out of play, off the glass. They get a whistle and a face-off, but no penalty against the Dashers for a delay of game. What a save by Eli Bowers earlier on in the sequence, as he robbed Reggie Millette. Beautiful pass from Petroritsin to Millette. And Bowers just kicked it out in desperation, and he got it. Lockhart to the net. That one off a stick and out of plays. Scantleberry tried to one-time the face-off win on goal, but it was bouncing and hopped right over his stick. Face-off tied up, slips behind the net. Scantleberry beats Mullins to it. Plays it back over to this side. Hustling after it is Federley. He and Brosnan, the two captains, come together. Henning spins around his own cage. Now Henning trying to make something happen. One hands it in Brosnan's direction. But now it's Lockhart going back the other way. Long pass finds Federley to Scantleberry. To the trailer, Bucel. Curl and drag shot. Missed it wide. Pushed out by Denny. Bussell first on it back in his own end. He recollects. Spins back again behind his own net. Both teams making some changes as we approach 5 minutes gone here in period number 3. And the Prowlers up by 5. They have the first 4 shots of this third frame. Wick off the boards, gloved down by Paris. But Jawan Davis works out with it. Davis left the puck behind. Now Johnson with some skating room. Has help coming. Johnson takes the shot, fought off by Bowers. Paris. Tied up in the corner. A couple of dashers in there. Nikita Petroditsin pitching in as well. Now Paris able to muscle away Wick. Paris tried a wrap chance. That didn't work. Poked on net. Graham in tight. And Bauer is able to scoop it up and hang on. So Alex Johnson was down in the crease. That puck was loose there. Everybody will get back to their skates, and we'll take a quick timeout. 14:29 left to go in the Scholes Family McDonald's third period here from Danville.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Back here in Danville, 14:29 left to go in the third period. Prowlers still up by 5. We'll get the offensive zone draw here. Joel Frazie's line out there. He'll take it against Trey Fisher. Hopped up off the dasher, kept in by Parsons. Frazie working down the wall against Fisher, who upended Frazie. Millette shoved into the wall. He's back on his skates and he has the puck. Slipped it over to DC. Now Millette flies in for it. DC's lost his stick, gets it back. Meanwhile, Sim takes the shot, deflected down, and Bauer's able to make the save. Frazie put it back on net from below the goal line, and all that chaos ended with Bowers covering up. Prowlers up on shots in this third period, 7-0. Now 8-0. 33-16 for the game. Dashers gave them some fight in that second period, getting some opportunities. Prowlers trying to just shut that all down here in the third. Scantleberry back to the point to Brockway. Walks the line over to Lockhart. And now down to Federley. Head up as he flies up high. Federley right down Main Street. Saved by Bowers, and the rebound slips behind the net towards Federley. Bussell upended Jawan Davis as that puck was cleared down ice. Not sure who initiated that contact. Scantleberry sends it up towards Bussell. Lays it into the offensive zone. Fans thought that should have been offside. It was very close. And now Scantleberry and Davis were going to go. Scantleberry dropped his stick. The arm was up for a penalty. They're going to send Jawan Davis to the box. We'll see if Scantleberry will also go. He will. And now Jawan Davis with still some more words for Tucker Scantleberry as he's corralled into the sin bin. Referees tonight are Kevin Mallon and Adam Fish, the linesman Jacob Kohlmeyer and David Gora. And that was David Gora there that you saw trying to wrestle Davis into the box. Davis and Scantleberry with all kinds of words going at each other in the penalty boxes. Still yelling across as the captains Federley and Brazin over there to find out the official ruling. Looks like we'll have some 4-on-4 action again for the second time in this game. Last time there was 4-on-4. Prowlers ended up with a 4-on-3 power play that they scored on. That was back near the end of period 1. Port Huron with Graham, Johnson, Thelstrom, and Petrovitsin. Dashers have Salov, Rothy, Mettinen, and Henning. They tie it up off the faceoff. Salov able to muscle it back to Mettinen. And Henning looks to work up ice. Rothy sends Mettinen up the left wing side. Outside shot into the air by Nusiainen, glove down behind the net. So Scantlebury gets 2 for slashing, Davis 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. As Graham looks to start up ice in the 4-on-4, 3 Dashers back. Graham back to Johnson. Back behind the net, but Mettinen stepped in front of that pass. Took a funny hop off the door again, and Thelstrom almost causing some trouble as Bauer's able to cover it up. There are doors in each of those corners down in the end to our right, and it seems that both of them have been causing the puck to pop to the middle of the ice. Scantlebury scored on a bounce like that last night, and it's happened a few times tonight now on both doors. Parsons walks in, fires, that's blocked. Pops up in the air, Parsons the only one who knew where it was, drops back from a shot, and Bauer is able to make the save. As everybody was looking around after the puck popped up in the air, and Brian Parsons the only one who could find it. He got it back to Millette, but he took another shot that Bowers able to readjust and make the save. So Millette will draw with Murphy. Actually, he was scheduled to, but instead it will be DC. Sim to Millette at the blue line. Makes the drive, goes down to Sim. Looking in front towards DC. That ends up coming off the near side boards and pops out for DC in the slot. Sim to Millette. 45 seconds left in the 4-on-4. DC makes a move, gets to his forehand, goes all the way around the net. In case you were wondering, Scantlebury and Davis still talking. Here's Parsons, a shot kick save by Bowers. And again, those two guys in the penalty boxes still having words more than halfway through their penalties. Parsons down Main Street, his shot blocked. Denny recollects it. Parsons on him, DC all the way around the net, takes the shot, and that one popped behind the cage. Parsons still in deep. Now he tries a wrap chance. Puck loose at the top of the crease. Murphy collects, knocked away by DC. Now James pushes it up the wall. Parsons over to Brockway. His shot, he scores! Ben Brockway with number 2 this weekend. Rips it to the corner, and the Prowlers up by 6. Just as Scantlebury and Davis stepped out of the penalty boxes, Ben Brockway with a rip. What a shot from Brockway there. And the Prowlers with the first goal of this third period on their 13th shot of the frame. And Luke James and Nikolai Solov will step in for this face-off. Another one at center ice. James gave Solov's stick a little whack, and he'll be asked to leave the face-off. Federley will take it instead. So another goal for the Prowlers. Another goal for Ben Brockway. Great weekend for him now. As Rumphy takes this puck, couldn't turn it on goal. Brockway from his knees, slid it up to Scantlebury. And now Brockway has been mugged by Justin Brozin. They'll blow this dead and send Brozin to the penalty box. As those two were battling, and Brozin, as they stood up, decided to clothesline Brockway, and somehow Ben Brockway is getting a penalty out of this. They're giving Brockway a slash and Brozin a rough. Again, Brozin put his hand over Brockway's face and just tackled him to the ground as they were getting back up. Maybe Brockway slashed the stick out of Brozin's hand before that, and I missed it. That might be why he's getting the slashing penalty, but either way, things getting testy down there by the benches. Federley and Denny are separated by just a linesman. Millette over there chatting as well, right at the red line. And the referees are saying, let's go, let's get 4 out there each and continue this game. Tick under 11 minutes left to go. Well, Ben Brockway's name all over the score sheet, a few penalties for him. And the goal, of course, in this third period. Thelstrom gives it back to Jamie Bussell. He'll start to weave his way up ice. Millette over the river that separates the neutral zone from the Dashers zone. As Bussell tried a wrap chance, that didn't work. Bussell kept it in. Henning couldn't toss it out. He hit Bussell with it. That puck's still in the zone. Now Thelstrom back across towards Millette. Mullins got his stick in the way. Fisher into the offensive zone is shot, gloved, and held by Valtteri Nusiainen for his second save of this third period. Face-off will be deep in the Prowlers' end. We'll have Graham Johnson, Sim, and Parsons out there in this 4-on-4. Metnin, Davis, Kabateyev, and Wick for the Dashers right now. As Metnin plays it back in his own end, twisting and turning away from Graham. Wick to Metnin, and now up to Kabateyev. Davis gets in, whiffed on the shot. Now Davis still with it, works down the wall. And he lost an edge. Mettin into the net, deflected by Davis, and a save by Nusiainen. And then Davis dumps it back Graham, and Parsons goes right after Davis. And now they have the gloves off, but they're both down to the ice quickly. Parsons trying to get at Jawan Davis. In defense of his head coach, and Brian Parsons will go to the penalty box. Jawan Davis still with some more words with Tucker Scantlebury. Scantlebury's on the bench. Scantlebury barking at him, at Davis. Davis doesn't want to go to the penalty box. Luke James now having a chat with number 26 on the Dashers. Maybe Jawan Davis is not going to the penalty box as he's hanging out by his bench. We'll sort it all out when we come back here on the PHP Network.
EDA, providing local business support for over 70 years. And helping to boost our region's workforce, retain and attract talent. Working to grow the local economy and the flow of money into our community to help businesses be profitable and successful. Focused on improving the region's economic strength and quality of life for residents. To learn more about the EDA of St. Clair County, visit edascc.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Dashers to a 4-on-3 power play as Parsons gets 2 minutes for roughing, which is certainly fair. He just went right after Davis. And they just take Parsons, so Prowlers PK will go back to work. 4th power play of the game for the Dashers. They're 0 for 4. Prowlers have not had a power play since the first period. They scored on both of their man advantage opportunities so far. Faceoff ends up escaping the zone, and Johnson skates into it. Johnson had it poked away by Zinchenko, who takes him into the boards. And now Zinchenko looks to work up ice. Now Zinchenko on the outside, centering feed, couldn't find anybody. Comes all the way back for Bowers. Quick up, ends up on Lockhart's stick. Prowlers will get to waste a little time. Federley back across to Lockhart. Has some room on the left wing. And he just bounces it into the Dashers zone. Zinchenko. It's now a 5-on-4 power play as Brozin and Brockway are out of the penalty boxes. Here's Zinchenko. Behind the net to Fisher. Back over Zinchenko's direction. And it comes over to Brozin. But his pass partially impeded by Federley. Got his stick on it. And escaped Denny. Denny firing back up. Zinchenko had his pass blocked. Here comes Bussell. Bowers came all the way out. Scantlebury took the puck. And he hit Henning with it. What a block by Dustin Henning. Bravely standing where the goaltender stands. And the crowd cheering for number 94 in black. The veteran Dustin Henning. And Bowers almost had his pocket picked by Scantlebury. Chaotic power play for the Dashers that has 20 seconds left on it. As Davis had it knocked off his stick. Scantlebury able to poke it away from a Dasher. And here he comes, but he lost it on the toe drag. And back the other way comes Davis. With Soloff, 2 Prowlers back. Davis whiffed on the pass, lost an edge, and out comes Brockway with Scantlebury. But he couldn't straddle the river that is the blue line to the Dashers zone, so offside. The call against Port Huron just as the penalty expired. Well, Eli Bowers went for an adventure on that last shift. A couple of adventures, one in front of the net and one behind the net. And Dustin Henning with the block of the game. It's 6-0, but a veteran like Henning and a guy like Dustin Henning, so competitive, never wants to allow a goal. He never gives up on any of these games. And that's certainly going to be a great thing for the Dashers to have. A young team trying to find their way, certainly. And Dustin Henning adding to that veteran leadership that includes Brozin and Denny. And we'll see if he can help build something here. Graham to Johnson, one-timer, glove down by Bowers. As Alex Johnson got a prime one-time opportunity from the high slot, and Eli Bowers able to get it in the catching glove and hang on. 40th shot of the game for the Prowlers. Faceoff comes to Parsons. Walks, gives to Lockhart. Net deflected, but didn't get all the way through. And the Dashers come back with numbers. 4-on-2. Quick shot saved by Nuciani. Got the rebound as well. And now the Prowlers look to counter. Millette hands it off for Frazee on the backhand. Slipped it right through the crease, and Bowers knocked it away. Comes out of the zone. Slarks. Dumps it in. Lockhart, oh my goodness, he almost put in his own net off of Nucianen, and it hit the post. Oh wow. Millette will turn away from some pressure. And Brett Lockhart may owe Valtteri Nucianen an apology. Kabateyev tosses this one in. Millette on the half wall. Trying to push his way out of the zone. Wick with a cross-corner dump puts it right back into Prowler territory. Parsons settling things down. And now he'll slow things down. Now they get it up to Sim. Enters the Dashers zone. Trying to float it to the middle of the ice. It pops back for Thelstrom. Walking in, couple of moves. Still has it, it's loose. Bowers trying to cover, and he does. As Isaiah Paris was crashing the crease as well. Ludwig Thelstrom trying to take on the entire Dashers team to get that puck on net. Couldn't get a good shot away. Thelstrom with a strong play from the point. 5:31 left to go in this one. Well, Bussell will take the draw against Davis. And hopefully Valtteri Nucianen's heart has stopped beating hard after Brett Lockhart almost banked it off of him into his own net. And that would have been the first goal of the game for the Dashers. It hit Nucianen and then hit the post and then went out. And we talk about Eli Bowers having adventures. That was an adventure in itself for the Prowlers. Davis going 1-on-3, lost the puck, and he turns it in deep. Brockway heads after it. He just tosses it out, and Mullins recollects in his own end. Final 5 minutes of this one. Mettinen, long pass, hit Murphy with it in his skates, and back comes Bussell the other direction. Drop for Johnson, looking in front towards Paris. First pass was blocked, but it came back to him. Sim working downhill. His shot blocked by Henning. Johnson back on net, and Bauer is able to fight it off. Not sure he saw that shot coming, at least at first. That one got caught up in Parsons' equipment. Johnson touched that one as it re-entered the Dashers zone, so we get offsides and another whistle. We'll take our final timeout here on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We invite you to tune in to our next broadcast on Friday, January the 17th, when the Prowlers host the Mississippi Seawolves. Puck drop from McMorran Place is scheduled at 7:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. And of course, if you can make it to that game, do come out. It is the Casey Harris night. He'll be suiting up for the Prowlers as a celebrity player. Very excited for that one. Prowlers will also be wearing those red heritage jerseys, which is appropriate for Casey Harris, the former Port Huron Beacon play. Brian Parsons' stick was the one that went flying. He got one from Austin Federley. So now Federley's without a stick. Here's a shot from the outside. Nucianen stopped. The rose up high. Penalty coming up against somebody. Elbowing is the signal. And it looks like they have Tristan Sim. So the Dashers to their 5th power play of the game. As Sim sits. Port Huron has had a very good penalty kill tonight. And honestly, the Prowlers have had just as many, if not more, opportunities to score on these Dashers power plays as the Dashers have. And Trey Fisher has been asked to leave the face-off. Not sure who's going to take it. Finally, Lucas Rothy steps up to take it. Against DC, Zinchenko goes back to the point to Denny. Versus through traffic. That one didn't get all the way through, and the rebound pops to Brazin. Denny to Zinchenko. Got to give it back. Poked away by DC. DC fights through checks from Denny. Penalty coming up. DC stopped by Bowers, and he kept it out as he slid back into his own net. Brad Denny is going to get a penalty, and that will negate the rest of this Dashers power play. So that took all of 20 seconds. And we'll have some more 4-on-4 action for you. Let you know as soon as I didn't see the signal. I assume it's going to be a hook. I'll let you know for sure as soon as it comes down. Some more 4-on-4 action as Henning looks to work it out towards Kabateyev. Parsons takes control, goes off the far boards. Here's Bussell with Graham going to net. Bussell gets it there, and Graham just couldn't bring it in to get a shot away. Tipped it on, and Bowers able to make the save. So hooking indeed is the call against Brad Denny. Graham dives at that loose puck, sends Bussell in all alone. Back to the forehand, he scores! Jamie Bussell becomes the first Prowler this weekend with multiple goals in the same game. And the extra point is good for Port Huron. And a good night for Jamie Bussell as he joins Austin Federley with 4 points. 2 goals, 2 assists now for Bussell. Federley, a goal and 3 helpers. 3:15 left to go. Prowlers up to 16 goals this weekend. They've scored 7 or more now in 4 of 5 games. 4 of their last 5 games, including this one. The offense has come alive. And again, it's not just against the Dashers. They did it against the Binghamton Black Bears once last Saturday, scoring 8 in that game. Nikolai Salov had it knocked off his stick by his fellow countryman Nikita Petronitsin. And here comes Frazee blowing by Mullins. Frazee hit the bar. I think he caught the post to Bowers' right. Meanwhile, Salov gives it away to Millette. Salov has it back. His rising try blockered by Nusiainen, up in the air and taken by Lockhart. 1-on-4. Lockhart heads back with his team getting some fresh troops on the ice. And the Prowlers have too many. Alex Johnson disagrees as he counts the 4 Prowlers out there right now. But they call it too many men on the ice penalty against Port Huron, so the Dashers will have a 4-on-3 power play, then it'll be back to 4-on-4, then it'll be a 5-on-4 Dashers power play. That will all be the same power play, by the way. They don't get 2 power plays for that, just 1, but it'll be their 6th power play of the game. And Austin Federley, the captain, in to serve, and Austin Federley seemed just a bit too excited to go over there and serve that penalty. With a giant grin on his face, takes a seat next to Tristan Sim. Last weekend we saw Matt Graham serving penalties. I believe that was Tuesday against the Rockers on New Year's Eve. Here's Luke James with a short-handed rush. Harassed by Davis from behind. James drags it to the backhand, got a shot away. Bowers stopped it, and they passed it off. And no more power play for the Dashers as Mullins did something to Luke James. Those two were jousting behind the play, and they just take Mullins. A slash called against Connor Mullins. Clock in the arena says 2:05. I have under 2 minutes. But this time it only took 22 seconds for the Dashers to end their man advantage. So it'll be 3-on-3. How about some regulation 3-on-3? Don't see that too often. We'll only get for 3 seconds though, as Sim is getting set to step out of the box to make it a 4-on-3 Prowlers power play. Up this face-off, Dashers control, sent out of the zone by Rothy. Nusiaiden plays it, though, so no icing as the dump came before the penalty expired to Sim. The Prowlers are on a 4-on-3 man advantage right now, their third power play of the game. It's Scantleberry with a shot, stopped by Bowers, and he hangs on. I think my clock's a little bit too far ahead here. I'll have to hold it. 5 seconds left on the penalty to, let's see, who is that to? To Denny, and then it will be 4-on-4. And then Federley will step out of the box in a minute 20 from now, and another brief 5-on-4 for the Prowlers. But again, that will all be the same power play. As Wick takes it off the draw, sends it all the way down. So it's now 4-on-4. And Sim steps out with it. Sim over to DC. Works in, pulls up, his shot just missed wide. Actually, that will be a separate power play for the Prowlers. That will be about 20-ish seconds once Federley steps out of the box. But again, there won't be that much time left in the game either. Prowlers now 2 for 3 on the man advantage. Rothy works in on the outside to the net, saved by Nusiainen, and it's cleared away by Parsons. Up to DC, working up with Millette. DC leaves it for Reggie Millette. Stops up, Millette hands off, Brockway with a shot, saved by Bowers. That puck bouncing behind the net like a, and collected by DC. Lockhart over to Millette. Brockway. Prowlers in no kinds of hurry. Federley getting to step out of the box. And the Prowlers will be on the man advantage for the final 27 seconds here. Millette to Federley, right up high. Over to Brockway. Works in, his shot stopped by Bowers, and he hangs on. And Wick ended up going down to the ice. 15 seconds left to go in this one. And I won't say the word yet, but there's still 0 on the clock, or on the scoreboard on the home side. For Valtteri Nusiainen, who stopped all 23 shots he's faced. Tied up off the draw. Bowers plays it along this way. Zinchenko sends it down. And Valtteri Nusiainen with the first shutout of the season for the Port Huron Prowlers. 7-0. They win tonight. They sweep the weekend. Their goaltenders combine for 1 goal against on 49 shots between the two games. And for the Prowlers, it's their first shutout by a goaltender since Ian Wallace did it in Watertown back on April 8th, 2023. He made 46 saves in that one. Nusiainen makes 23 in this one. The Prowlers dominate the weekend against the Dashers. They get 6 points, extend their win streak to 3. Dashers' losing skid hits 22. The Prowlers eclipse 40 points. They're up to 41 this year at 14, 12, and 3. Well, stick around. Post-game show coming up next here on the PHP Network. But in case it's bedtime, we'll give you one more reminder to tune in to our next broadcast on January the 17th, next Friday. It'll be a 7:05 puck drop against the Mississippi Seawolves, and the pregame show starts at 6:50. And of course, as always, it's right here on the PHP Network. But don't go anywhere, as the postgame show is next, and we'll wrap up this weekend here for you.
Let's go. They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it.
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
At phprowlers.com.
Will Wiggleman back here on the PHP Network. The Prowlers finish this one 7-0. Valtteri Nusiainen with the 23 save shutout, the first shutout for the Prowlers since the 2022-23 season. And again, Ian Wallace got the shutout in Watertown. But it's time to go back through this one goal by goal, and it's all Prowler goals. As Austin Federley got things started with a strange one. Off the face-off, puck ended up behind Eli Bowers. We don't really know how, but we do know that Federley was the last one to touch it. That made it 1-0 and got Federley off the scoring schneid. Broke a 13-game scoring drought for the Prowlers captain. Joe Frazee made it 2-0 later. His return to the Prowlers after a brief time on the inactive list. Little one-timer on the power play. And then in the final seconds of period one, Matt Graham crashing the crease. It will make it 3-0, another power play goal for the Prowlers. Second period, Jamie Bussell with a beautiful saucer feed to find Tucker Scantleberry on the right wing side. He finds the back of the net, and then it was Bussell himself scoring a little bit later in that frame. And he made it 5-0 at that point. Third period, Ben Brockway, just as Tucker Scantleberry and Jawan Davis, who were barking at each other the entire time they were in the penalty boxes together, they stepped out, and we thought there might be something that might happen, but instead, Ben Brockway scored, and Scantleberry was too concerned with celebrating his defenseman's second goal of the weekend, and the sixth goal of the night for the Prowlers. And Jamie Bussell wrapped up the scoring with the seventh late in the third. And Port Huron comes away with a 7-0 victory. Valtteri Nusiainen does not get a star of the game officially, but as I said last night, he certainly deserves one, as Yoshi did in last night's win. But the stars tonight, Tucker Scantleberry, the third star, with a goal and an assist. Austin Federley, a goal and 3 assists, is the second star. And Jamie Bussell, tonight's first star, 2 goals and 2 assists. And again, Valtteri Nusiainen, 23 save shutout, as the Prowlers sweep the Dashers this weekend and secure their hold on third place in the Empire Division. We'll tell you how the Danbury Hat Tricks did, as well as the other teams around the league later on in this intermission, in the post-game show. But first, let's take a look at the final stats from this game. Prowlers ended up getting up to 48 shots, which I did do a double take. They're only up to 25 through 40 minutes, but 23-7 the shots in that third period in favor of the Prowlers. Dashers ended up with 23 overall for the game. The PK was perfect. Power play was good. The only times they didn't score were on those weird partial power plays late in the third when the penalties started to pile up for both sides. But the Prowlers get the victory here, and they'll head home with 6 points on a roll, and they'll try to continue it against the Mississippi Sea Wolves next weekend. Again, your final tonight, 7-0 for the Prowlers. When we come back, we will take one last look around the league at the out-of-town scores. Plenty of games that have gone final, and Prowlers fans will like some of these scores, so be sure to stick around here for the out-of-town scoreboard. Then we'll wrap this one up here in Danville.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Will Wiggleman back one final time here in Danville at David S. Palmer Arena. And in an arena the Prowlers made their second home this weekend. They score 16 total goals, only give up one, and they win tonight 7-0, their first shutout of the season, courtesy of Valtteri Nusiainen. But before we let you go, let's take one last look around the league. Some good scores are about to pop up for you if you're a Prowlers fan. And we start with the Hat Tricks losing 6-0 to the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Hunter Verostic with a 44-save shutout of his own. And the Bobcats dominate, and the Prowlers enjoy the fruits of that as they are now even further ahead of the Hat Tricks for third place in the division. Venom also helping out the Prowlers with a 6-4 win over the Watertown Wolves. Dustin Jasso factoring into all 6 goals for the hockey club. 3 goals, 3 assists for him. Connor Craig had 3 helpers for the Venom. Davide Gaeta, 2 goals and an assist for the Wolves in his first game against his former team. And the Venom pick up the victory, and that helps out the Prowlers as well as the Wolves sitting in front of the Prowlers in second place. Black Bears ended up winning that game against the Rockers in a shootout. Scott Ramekers and CJ Stubbs scored the 2 shootout goals as Black Bears won it 2-0 in the skills competition. And they win by a final of 5-4, but not for another Herculean effort from Ricky Gonzalez, who almost prevented it. 62 saves for Gonzalez. These shot totals are getting absolutely ridiculous from the Motor City Rockers that they're giving up on their goaltenders. And Gonzalez has an incredible number of saves this season. And he did it again tonight, but unfortunately for him, not enough to get his team the victory. Carolina defeated Columbus tonight by a final of 5-3 as they earn the split for the weekend. And finally, the Monroe Moccasins are trying to finish off a third shutout in the FPHL tonight. They're up 4-0 on the Mississippi Seawolves late in the third. That one has gotten ugly in the penalty department, but Marcus Ekholm-Rosen has stopped all 29 shots that he has faced so far. So could we have a hat trick of shutouts in the FPHL tonight? Maybe just a few minutes away from that. As again, that game still going on in Monroe. The Seawolves are the Prowlers' next opponent, and we invite you to tune in here on the PHP Network. It'll be 7:05 puck drop on Friday, January the 17th, and a 6:50 pregame show. But of course, if you can make it to that game, be sure to come out, as Casey Harris, of course the owner of Casey's in Port Huron, the former Port Huron Beacon as well, he will be dressing for the Prowlers in that game. There'll also be another Heritage Jersey night for the Prowlers. So lots of fun coming down to McMorran Place next Friday night against the Seawolves. But if you can't make it, be sure to hang out with me here, and we'll have it here for you. Thanks so much to the Dashers broadcast crew and production crew for the use of the cameras, the internet, all of that fun stuff, making everything nice, smooth, and easy here. But for now, thanks so much for all of you for tuning in, and we will see you next time here on the PHP Network.